Is this a game changer? We've heard a lot of testimony. Could this testimony finally bring about resolution about that fateful day, about whether then President Trump or any other members of the government answering for January 6th?
Yeah, Adrienne, it could potentially be a game changer. We know that the head of this investigation, Jack Smith, is looking to hear from Vice President Pence on his conversations with President Trump in the days leading up to January 6th. However, we do know that Pence's team was arguing before that in his role as president of the Senate on that day and presiding over the Senate, he did not necessarily need to talk about his role as a lawmaker or presiding over a body of lawmakers that day, citing the speech or debate clause in the Constitution. So we'll see what Pence says. We do know that he doesn't have to testify on the day itself or his duties related to that day as his role in presiding over the Senate. However, those conversations with President Trump leading up to January 6th could prove to be crucial, because we know that this investigation has to do with President Trump's role or alleged role in the insurrection on January 6th.
But for this man, he happened to be our former vice president, who was held up in a secure location, a.k.a. a basement at the Capitol. How much more can we talk about this? I mean, we've heard so many different sides, so many different witnesses discuss this. People have been sent to prison because of this day. Undoubtedly not the proudest day for this country. But when are we going to say we've finished this investigation and we have resolve so that it will never happen again?
Look, I think that's up to the investigators, and we'll see when they wrap that up. But it's clear they want to talk to major officials like the former vice president and lawmakers about this issue. Look, I mean, it's very much has set a precedent here in the United States. Last week when former President Trump was indicted, I think a lot of law enforcement officials were very concerned about a January 6th Part 2 happening in New York City or in other places, because we saw the role of an official, the president of the United States, on social media and his followers on social media, essentially contributing to the day's events there. So we're sort of in a new era with how social media and other outside factors were impacting these protests. And we saw something unprecedented happen for the first time. We saw protesters breach the United States Capitol while so many lawmakers were in there. It was a major breach to national security. So I think it will be up to investigators as to when they get those answers. And I'm sure lawmakers will also have their say as well.
Yeah, hopefully we're not comparing that day to anything that happened with the former President Trump. I know some people were concerned about the incitement of violence, but as it was seen, it was nothing compared to what we've seen in previous years, and including that fateful day on January 6, 2021. Julia Manchester, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.